Good afternoon, Gary, or even good morning, sorry.
It's almost good evening.
It's almost good evening, good night.
Aye, it really is.
Today we have a bit of a coup. We are at Golf It, obviously in Glasgow, and we have the pleasure of working with a couple of guys from Scottsdale. And we talk about club fitting all the time. And to be fair, most people have no idea what a club fitting actually involves. So today we're going to show you what a club fitting is from start to finish. I've never had one, Gary's had a couple, and we're going to see what a difference it makes so that people can understand. We talk about this stuff all the time.
I think we're just desperate to know, is there a level of consistency there? Because as I said earlier, and I've said a few times on the podcast, it blew my mind what PXG did for us. I have never known anybody say they want to put an extra inch on a shaft. Because I'm small, and I'm like, that can't be true. But then when I hit it, the dispersion comes straight in, and then try to explain that to my friends who are either mid or higher handicaps. It just blows their mind. But I'm not trying to push everybody towards PXG. It was just, weren't they?
Yeah.
Because we have always said when we first started the podcast, if I turned up to a game of golf, especially a team match and somebody had a set of PXGs, the first thing I said was, you better be able to play, pal.
Yes.
I've just spent $5,000 on a set of clubs.
Yeah, 100%.
You're like, you better be able to play. But they were, I couldn't speak high enough of them. So I think we had a plan that we wanted to speak to several manufacturers and fitters just to see, is there a level of consistency there for us? Because I think fitting's a must.
Yes.
I think it's an absolute must. Because when I went from standard to 1 degree flat, again, my dispersion became absolutely superb. And I was like, and then I blew Mark's mind by telling him that you stick it in a vice and bend the club. And he was like, what? And I was like, that's what you do. So I think for us, thank you so much for putting up with us. You'll listen to our never-ending dribble. And if we hit bad shots, we're absolutely editing those bad shots, all right? There's no bad shots today, all right?
Yari, a bit of background about how you got to here and a bit about Scottsdale as well, obviously.
And you got up.
So yeah, I'm Rob, I'm one of the fitters here. I'm probably the newest guy here. And Ryan's been here since the start, really. So we're both PGA professionals. We've both been in this industry probably 15 years, 16 years, something like that. Both got fitting backgrounds, both been club professionals. I used to be a fitter for TaylorMade many moons ago.
Is that a separate path you do then from you get your PGA rather than just being back in the day when I was a kid, and I'm very old. Some of the assistant pros felt as if they were high paid Mars bar sellers.
We were that at one point for sure.
Jack of all trades, master.
You kind of get yourself through your university degree, and then doors start to open. I think it's just connections you make.
Is everybody's first goal as a PGA pro to try and go and play?
Some.
Yes, I know. I think you're obviously at a standard where you think, right, I quite fancy this.
Was it less than 4 you can go PGA, isn't it?
Yeah.
It used to be. I think it's even more now.
It must be. I think it's 6
And you
now.
need to do playability tests then, but if you're scratch or below,
you don't have to.
So yeah, my kind of background, I was just assistant at Lanark for 5 years.
Cracking course.
Yeah, phenomenal track, and then spent time out in the States and Australia before coming back. So
very good. Whereabouts in the States?
I was at Chateau Lan,
very nice.
just in Atlanta. So just
a bit posh.
Yeah,
it's not far from it's not far from Georgia. Okay, which is obviously lovely Augusta. Me and Mark shot an 81 in Augusta.
What did you?
In our head.
In our head.
On the
I was going to say on the computer or something like that.
No, because the guys were saying you'd have a break 100, but we've talked
about 81.
Yeah, 81. I was maybe 82. I gave myself.
My handicap was better, so I deserved a shot.
So absolutely,
not bad.
I don't know about it, to be honest.
Where else then?
And then I was out in Melbourne with Big Swing and Drummond Golf before coming back. So
that'd be good.
That's a good life, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's been
and then you come back to this. Right,
from Melbourne to Ridley's a bit of a
85 degrees to 5.
Difference.
So yeah.
So what point is it towards fitting then?
I just love, to be fair, seeing that expression of folks' faces when you make such a big difference.
I like the expression of folks' faces and go for fitting and hit a bad shot, Mark.
I know.
Did you get that shank? Did you get his shank?
I think as well, I did many avenues in golf, went down, did a bit of club fitting, and then decided to explore teaching, and then basically was on the lookout for the next kind of opportunity, and then I saw him kind of plastered all over the internet. And I was like, well, exactly. So having a big equipment background in coaching, I feel from a fitting perspective, it's really, really important, because as much as you need to understand the clubs, you've got to understand the swing as well. The two combined together can make such a difference to the player's game.
And if it makes you feel any better, then the customer service already is amazing, because I remember when I got a fit as a kid, it was all about this and this. It was about your head's wrong and it would hit you with a guidance stick, a wee cane. You'd actually speak
That's
to me.
I know it's changed. So
Yeah.
well,
Let's hit
we
some
start.
balls.
We
And
hit
I was
some
going to
balls and we
say,
take it.
just
Yeah.
the wee
Okay.
bit of difference with Scottsdale, we have we've got access to all the really high-end kit. So
And
it
that's a
does
big
set
difference.
set us apart. And we build it next door as well.
And I was going to say, and the USP you guys have got is that you can actually walk out here the same day.
Yeah, we
With
built
Yeah,
our workshop's
correct.
next door, so we build
Which
it on site.
nobody offers in Scotland.
No.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So,
and
it's
that's
what-
amazing.
Outstanding.
So it's
That
quite
really is.
cool.
Yeah.
I remember 'cause my fitting was like 5 days. They
Yeah.
done the fitting.
Because you were that
They
bad.
wouldn't even back the eye. They wouldn't give you your specs because they knew you would go to eBay and look for the same
Yeah, of
specs
course,
that you had.
of course.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd go away and you probably lose a bit of interest, but the fact that you can say, I'm not getting your specs. No, here's your specs,
And
and
then-
we'll go and build them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
1000%.
That's superb.
It's different. People.
We might test your metal, if that's all right. Because if
Yeah.
you say that I'm flat or upright, I'm perfectly open to fuser.
Yeah.
But you just go and
Well, we can have a
bend,
retweak.
bend
Yeah.
my clubs and I'll hit them and see if it makes any
and
difference.
show
I'm up
people
for that.
obviously
Yeah.
the difference
No
it can
problem
make.
at all.
1000%. So
And
If
if
it
we
makes my golf better, I'll
because we also
stick to 20 as well.
yeah, because we all sort of talk about say, do you know what, it does this and it helps this, but the proof's in the pudding
Aye.
at the end of the day. So,
Great point.
Like,
Yeah,
so
so-
obviously I need to close my eyes and hit.
Yeah. So we're very much kind of teamwork based.
Perfect.
So what you guys like, what you don't like, does match up with strike, does match up with flight. Do you like to have the shaft loads for you? Do you like the shaft loads for you? Does the head feel good for you?
Yeah.
So we'll ask you when he hits that what loading means, because I get a wee bit of what loading is, but some of the other viewers hopefully will know.
Okay.
So it'd be great to point that out, because I think some of, and I'm not pointing any fingers, but some of your fittings, know you guys, but fittings in general,
Yeah.
they'll speak that terminology,
Uh-huh.
smash factor, launch angles, how you present the club, dynamic loft. People will go home and Google it, but in actual fact, when it's live, do they physically know what they're talking about, or do they know what you're talking about? So, so that's something that I'll quite happily jump
Yeah,
into.
no, I think it's a great thing.
You
You
good
know,
with that?
and
Right,
I can see.
Hit some bad shots. Good shots.
I'll try and hit some bad shots.
I hope you hit everyone bad. I'm not going to lie, because then it will make me look half decent when I start to hit my
Well, when
bad
you start to
ones.
hit your shots,
What you hitting?
I'm at a 7-iron.
What's your stock 7 then? 155?
It's probably somewhere around about 155 to 160.
Right, we'll
On-
see if he's talking
you know.
nonsense.
Well, I
Right?
did check. It was 156 there.
So should we, is it normal to hit range balls for a fitting, or is it normal to hit a premium ball?
So we are kind of indoors with Pro Vs and outdoors with range balls. So it's at that discretion of that. But we can set the track band to essentially identify that it is,
Trackman's awesome, isn't it?
yeah, it's phenomenal.
So
we
we had
can
Mike Malone on
Uh-huh.
as a podcast. I've known Mike for 2007.
Uh-huh.
So I got on great with him, and he was tremendous, wasn't he?
He was, and
And he's coming back on, to be fair. He's coming up when he comes to the Scottish Open, we're going to meet him.
Oh, mega.
He's a
So
good
he's
lad.
a-
he's a
I've spent a bit of
Mike's a
time with
great
Mike.
guy, isn't he? He's a
Yeah.
great guy.
He is, and he's such a lovely sort of person as well.
Yes.
Just and
He's a bit good looking as well, isn't he?
he's far too good looking.
He's
And that
part of
tan
all that.
as well. He's too tan.
That's because he's travels.
And he's clearly been to Turkey as well. Obviously.
Every time we spoke to him, he's either in Amsterdam or he's somewhere
Yeah,
else.
somewhere else getting warm. And-
Right.
Although the
Well,
thing
big
is-
boy. Let's see what you've
The
got.
time we saw me was actually, it was chucking it down, was it not?
It was in the back. I was going to say the back of his car, but it was in the front of his car.
Yeah. I don't know if you've seen the back of his car.
Several. That sounded not bad.
It's good, that.
Sounded not bad.
What do you tend to favour shot
I
wise?
tend to hit a slight draw, really. When I'm hitting the ball really well, it's
Snap
a
hook.
tiny draw.
Cool.
What? I
Snap
snap hook
hook.
sometimes. But I was saying, no, I did see my bad shot is
Aye,
a snap hook.
aye.
Or I don't square the club face out and it will go right and then go further right.
So you've got that kind of double miss.
Well, I was saying to Ryan, obviously, I sort of grew up watching Seve, and if you ever watch Seve, he takes it back, he actually fans it out. So I taught myself to swing a golf club, fanning it out and then taking it straight up. So
So you're relying a lot on what the club face is doing when it's coming into impact,
Pretty much,
basically.
They're good,
What do
yeah.
you prefer to see though? Do you want to see that ball turning over?
do you know what? I've tried to teach. I'd love to play with a small fade. I
Oh,
that's a
really?
complete-
Right.
I
You've
know.
seen the trends happening though,
Yeah.
where everyone is going into fade.
And that's I would quite like to because it's more. It's more controllable. I think.
I guess for you though, you don't want to see it missing left.
No.
Cool. Something like that. Obviously, you got a wee bit of wind across,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, just a slight. Maybe 4 or 5 yards, maybe.
Cool. and what do you know the spec of those irons?
No. Here you go.
Like one, do you know if were you fitted in them at all?
No, I've never had a fitting. So
Right.
everything is. So the irons I
I'll
bought.
give you one other. What I'll do is I'll go and spec them up for you. We'll
Okay.
just check in the workshop
Great
next
idea.
door,
Right.
and I'll be back in a wee
Cool.
second.
And obviously the grip I put on a mid-size +4.
Just a wee bit thicker.
Yeah,
Right, I'll
so-
be 2-6.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to have a
You're gonna
couple
have
while
your balls.
we're waiting.
We were just speaking there, and obviously we got
Before Gemma gave me an absolute. It was like when I was back at school. I'm just in a belt at school.
Yeah. So if you're like buying from manufacturer, they'll always have tolerances.
Yeah.
So either a degree either way, or length a bit shorter or longer, or lying either way. So if you're just buying straight from stock or straight from a shelf,
Yeah. Or from eBay.
you don't. Yeah.
And is that because they're forged, they will move, won't they? Because it's such a soft metal.
1000%.
So like you were just saying there before Gemma battered us, that we are at 44 degrees on this normal standard pitching wedge for the T150s, which I absolutely love. But that, in essence, I could be hitting 45 or 46 because it's been hit so much.
Because it's again that tolerance. So
So on the basis of that, then should you come in every year or so and get them readjusted?
probably if you're practicing playing as much as you guys are,
Yeah.
see even after every 6 months.
Seriously, as much as
So
okay.
if you're using forged clubs, you're battering balls all the time, especially range balls
Cool.
or all that sort of stuff.
No.
They're going to move. Cast irons, not really that much because again, it's a lot.
Of course,
much harder.
Did you get that on
metal,
camera?
but,
That was a right good shot. You hope they go.
But again, that's really important.
Well, I missed that one, Gary.
It was actually such a
Hit your
good
real
hit.
shot now.
It was a good hit. When I hit a thin now, right? The ball will be as bald as my barnet.
That's actually okay.
That's a nice strike.
Two in a row, right? I'm getting him.
Yeah. Is that what I mean? Just there.
Two in a row. I have a wee fade on it, look.
Yeah, it's nice.
Hey, so talk us through, because obviously there's a lot of information there, so obviously don't bamboozle us, but give us some idea of what we're looking at here.
In terms of what you kind of want to see from like your irons essentially.
Yeah.
So again, naturally looking for.
Yeah, my strike was better.
It was, your strike was better.
So again, you want to try and so say for example the loft on a 7 iron, because 7 irons these days are really quite strong. Might start 31, 32, 33. So a general rule of thumb is almost like half what that loft says on the clubhouse itself. I actually kind of want to see kind of that
Right,
initial
that's your
launch
optimum
wise.
launch angle then.
That kind of initial launch wise, which
brilliant.
is really quite good. For again, because the strength of loft wise, with your 7 iron, might play almost like the strength of a 6 iron of old fashioned times. So again, a rule of thumb is almost the number it says on the club back then. But again, strength of loft these days, a 7 plays like a 6 plays like a 5.
Yeah.
Might want to see anything kind of. Again, anything in that what we're seeing here in that 6s or even top of the 5 into bottom of the 6, 6, 2, 6, 3 stuff.
That's a spin.
That's a really good spin rate.
Yeah.
If you're playing very much blades or MCs, any sort of that sort of style of club, then you might be looking at that kind of top end because that's what you see.
Yeah.
At top end of 6 into the 7s to help maintain spin, that sort of stuff. So descent wise, we like to see kind of what 45.
45, 47,
6,
something like
yeah.
that.
And that helps drop and stop then, doesn't
so
it?
essentially
Your spin's
looking-
not as high.
Yeah, looking for when it reaches peak height, looking for something that's obviously coming down as steep as possible. So if you're playing, it'd be a bit different if you're playing length squad, maybe to come in a bit shallower because you're pitching to a number. So if you're 150, you might be pitching at 150, make it run out, so want to come a bit shallower. But for Parkman golf, you're looking for, if you're 150 and I've got 8 iron or 7 iron, whatever your 150 club is, then straight away you're looking for it to be thereabouts. So you don't want it then
Makes
running out
sense.
another 5 or 6 yards. So again, we're really quite close there at 40.
Go you, Mark.
In terms of
Or go your clubs.
Yeah, not me, it's clubs.
yeah,
Sure, club.
Cool, thanks.
in
Just
terms of, do you want to add anything else in, Rob?
Where are we at? Because I was obviously checking his specs.
So what about strike? So if he's kind of nearer the hosel there, that's
strike? I mean, ideally out the middle.
Yeah.
You can live happily in the middle.
So is your angle here that your crosshairs there? Is that where you're looking
You'd
for
want to be
slightly
kind
lower
of in
than
line
that?
with the line from left to right, but with an iron certainly low of centre.
Yeah.
Maybe like third groove.
And that
fourth
imparts the spin
groove.
onto the ball, doesn't
It's
it?
just to get, you're using the proper part of the sweet spot really, so you're going to get the most consistent results coming out of it.
Yeah.
So I mean, for that, if we're looking at you striking out the heel, potentially the length's a little bit on the long sides, or maybe your lie angle could be flattened a touch.
Brilliant.
So that will
Brilliant.
impact on where you're kind of striking on the face.
That's exactly the information we're looking at.
The other thing as well, spin for it. Is that 7 iron you're hitting?
He's hitting 7.
Yeah. So I mean, under 6,000 revs of spin probably is a little bit on the low side.
Yeah.
okay.
It's going to blow your mind now, isn't it, mate? You're going to be out
As I'm
buying new
getting
golf
home.
clubs.
So I've just spec'd them up. They're just but it's standard length, standard
Sure.
lie.
Okay.
Swing weight and everything's just basically.
Is it
out the
D2,
factory.
is it, for the iron?
It was like D2.5.
Yeah.
So
Yours are heavier.
Mine's that. I've got a 120 gram
yours will
shaft,
be
so
lighter
you're a
though,
105, I think.
because your grip wasn't the original
Yeah.
grip on the
You're
club.
120s.
You put a heavier grip
Yeah.
on it, so
Yeah.
your head
So the
weight's
swing
now
weight will be
lighter.
heavier.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
your swing weight
I like
should
that. I like it.
usually be a wee bit heavier than
Yeah,
that, but
sure.
because the grip's a wee bit heavier.
Okay.
Yeah, I like mine slightly heavier because I like to know.
Where the
Because
club is.
I like to know where the club head is. So
You got to feel where it's.
and if it's really
where it's
light, then
coming
I just don't get it.
Yeah.
And my golf game goes. Not that it's any good anyway, but it goes to pot. Can I ask a question about this? About Mark's
That's a more
swing then.
accurate
Uh-huh.
sort of strike.
So me and Mark differ because Mark thinks that he rotates in his
Right.
golf swing, whereas I think that Mark comes back on the
That
inside.
to me, that's a
Good
more
numbers.
I need to watch it.
representative of
That's how I
Yeah,
wanted
really
to ask
good
the
number.
question because
Yeah.
he's adamant he
The
rotates,
cent's
and I'm
really
adamant
good,
he comes on
spin's
the
really
inside.
good. Once
Aye.
it's a wee bit too high, but we talked about it earlier, because again, if a shaft's too soft for you, it's going
You
to
hit
want you a wee bit
seven.
higher.
Okay.
So essentially, the shaft wants to help you out.
Right.
And
Okay.
if you're overworking that shaft, it's going to pitch it a wee bit
Right.
higher.
That's more representative of how I hit the ball.
Yeah.
The first couple were a bit
You
skinny.
hit 7, and you keep you hit another, then I'll hit 7
do
as
you take
well.
much divot?
No, I don't.
Right. Do you know what attack angle is?
Yes.
So in terms of attack angle, especially with an iron, you want to be hitting down and compressing it to kind of get the most energy out of the club.
Again, it goes back to how I learned how to play
Seven,
golf was about taking the
Taking no divot.
yeah, take
So-
the ball off the
So
turf.
the only thing with that is because you're not hitting down. For instance, if we look at that attack angle there
Yeah.
of 1, so you've actually hit up on that slightly.
Right.
So you're going to catch it a bit thinner. You're not going to get compression. You're also going to add loft to the club.
Okay.
So therefore, your ball flight's going to be pretty high.
Yeah, I just had the ball really high.
That's just great
You're
information,
like
isn't
a greenkeeper's best friend. You're just taking
Yes.
no divots at all.
Us golfers damage golf courses. Mark helps
Yeah.
the golf course.
I know.
So that being said, something that was allowing you to compress the ball a little bit better, you're going to get better results
Okay.
coming out of it.
Can we not help him too much? Because I like to beat him.
I was going to say there's definitely a bit of rotation.
He's got a swing, right? Aye.
Yeah, it's definitely a wee bit of rotation. in
Aye.
there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I rotate more than you do, but
Well, that's because I'm stiff and old.
again,
That's
so
what that
So
is.
strike wise there, I mean spin number's really good there. See your attack angle is 1 on the down, which is better. But if do you know what club path is? So like the sensation of hitting into out or out to in.
It's weird. I'm still hitting it off the heel to a certain extent.
I mean,
That's not too bad. That's
I'd
all.
I know,
okay
I know.
with that. The one thing is though, if your bad shot's a left miss and you're hitting it slightly more out the heel side of centre, potentially flattening your lies could help you.
Okay.
And I'll be the opposite. I'll guarantee my dots will
Your
be on
toe
this side.
strikes.
I will be because I know I'll go outside to in.
Yeah.
Hence why I've got a wee bit of
You
baby
get your
fade.
wee cut.
So I know that fine well. I hit more toe strikes than you
So
do.
I mean, looking at those numbers there, they're not bad by any means. Do you want to try something else?
Yeah. Let's see.
Well, what we'll
Get
do
the guns out.
That's
Tell
great.
me to get the guns out and
Since you've
start
never
hitting
had
it.
the experience of this, we'll try you in a few. I'll get one head,
Okay.
and then we'll try you in a few different shafts, and we can compare numbers and see what energy
Yeah.
you're getting out of there. See if we can optimize
This will make you
numbers
decide whether you need to sell your golf clubs.
a bit. So
I'll
what
be
I'll
walking
do-
out here going like, right, eBay. Here we go.
so what I'll do is I'll just put you in the latest version of yours, just so we've got
Okay.
a kind
Oh,
of control. All right.
That's a ploy. That's a ploy.
And
That's a ploy.
how do these clubs feel for you? How have they been performing for you? And is there anything
He's playing no bad golf.
that you
I
could
think
improve with them?
Length. I think I've lost, and I don't think my numbers are any less than Gary's themselves, but the club head speed, and I don't think because I tried I was been playing with the muscle backs, and
Yeah.
I'm getting 15 yards further with the muscle backs, the
You
Cali ones.
Which is bizarre to
Compared
me.
to these,
Yeah.
That's bizarre
you
to me.
shouldn't be.
You
I
shouldn't
am.
be, no.
Because these are designed to
I
generate
know,
more distance.
but I am.
So, I mean, something's wrong. What shafts are in your other ones?
The Project X, but they're still just stiffs.
But they're
The
heavy
six-
though. They're
six
not.
point
Sixes.
Yeah, but they're no. They're hit. I think what are they 105?
They're 115.
I think it's 120. It's the same shaft that's in my Titleist. It's in his
But
MBs.
you're hitting them further.
Yeah.
That doesn't make a massive amount of sense because they're
Doesn't make
soft.
any
They
sense.
play
It
doesn't,
soft.
but I do.
They play softer.
Doesn't make
I
any
know,
sense.
but I do
He's
hit
talking
them
nonsense.
further. I don't know.
Interesting. But we'll do a wee bit of shaft testing
Right,
just
okay.
to see how, if we can try in something a wee bit different,
Okay.
how it works for you. So I mean, looking at your club head speed there, probably in a firm flex. The thing is, if you're not swinging it
Because
quite
you
as
get old now, mate.
fast,
You're not stiff anymore.
if you're not swinging it as fast, you're not going to be bending the club as much.
Yeah,
So you're not going to be able to get quite as much energy
Mark.
to the ball. So
that's okay.
maybe something a wee bit softer than
Right,
that
okay,
could,
right.
could
That's
assist
it,
you.
I'm-
Hi, son. Can I get
The
a
other thing
senior?
as well, are you wanting to see a slightly lower flight than what you're
Yes.
doing at the minute? So we could potentially look at something that is going to drop your flight a touch.
Okay.
So I'll pop you
Getting the
some.
ball, getting the ball in the air has never been a problem.
Aye, so if we can get something to maybe keep it down a wee touch. So I'll grab a wee selection. Would
Have
you
you got a bank card
would
with
you
you?
try graphite?
Mark,
we're
you
here.
get a bank card with you?
I have.
You will be. You'll be spending.
If you're up for it, what you're seeing trends now happening is even tour players going into graphite shafts, e.g. like Bryson DeChambeau.
Right,
and
DeChambeau,
stuff.
yeah.
So we're starting to try people out in graphites because the tech can supersede what you can do in a steel shaft.
Because you get a carbon shaft as well that's not superseded, but it's also woven with the metal as well, isn't there?
You've got
a combo
stuff
of
like
it.
this. You've got your steel fiber shaft.
You see that knowledge is a bomb. Did you see that there?
Right.
A steel and graphite.
See, that's
you
the
get
business.
the combinations of both. And then you've also got stuff like that. That's
I'll get shouted at if I speak to you.
tour level shaft.
Okay.
Better players, stronger players would never play graphite.
I'm not sure Mark then if he's a better player.
What?
I'm not sure.
They'd never play graphite because it feels too flexible. They've got
Okay.
no control over the club face.
Whereas
But because you can layer up the graphite so much.
His graphite.
His wedges.
His wedges,
Just
yeah.
his wedges. But he's
So-
got the best hands in the
Yeah,
world
he has,
though.
yeah.
We'll give you a
Although
wee go with some of
Shane,
these.
feel free to come on the
Scottish
podcast
Sheffler,
anytime you feel like
Scottish
it.
Sheffler must have some hands on him though. The amount of dancing he does.
Well, he does. He does.
He's
A
a-
wee
he's a-
bit of Zorro.
Yeah.
And
He's not a bad player though. To be
He's
fair.
all right. Yeah, he's okay. I don't
Right.
think-
So I'm going to give you a wee
let's go.
shot with a few different shafts. If you
Right.
can give me any feedback at all on
The
how
whole,
they
the whole point
feel.
of this is to people to get an idea of what this actually, what this means and how it feels to come and get fitted properly.
Right, so I'll just set you up. So what to do is...
Do you want me to hit a couple while you're doing that?
If you want, yeah.
It's essentially everything's stand up. It's a wee bit flat, like half a degree flat.
It is a wee bit flat.
Yeah.
So if I'm still hitting a fade with flat, then would that be going more flat, or would that be the opposite? Then we're going upright,
What if you want to?
or is that just
Take
pure
away
back-
less fade?
my bad swing?
No.
Obviously, in a dream world, you want to hit it straighter.
Uh-huh.
So would you recommend then if I'm half a degree flat, would I go a full degree flat to stop the fade, or would I go back to?
You go back to standard because
Back to
obviously
standard.
that toes is digging a wee bit too much.
So
now.
I'm standing more upright than I actually think I'm then.
Yeah,
Well,
could
my
be.
swing, I'm presenting the club face to the ball. Is that the dynamic loft then? Is that presenting the ball, the club to the ball?
It'd be more like how the sole's making contact with the
Correct.
ground. So dynamic loft's only just the loft you give to the ball when
Yeah.
it makes contact.
Yeah.
But what Ryan's talking about is how the sole's interacting with the ground.
Completely lie then.
So if you are two-toe down, it's going to actually encourage the face to be in a more open position. So
Yeah.
it's going to encourage more of a
I would definitely, I
So,
wholeheartedly agree.
for you-
That's exactly the information that we're looking for this.
Yeah.
Because that's just blowing my mind again then. So if I'm half a degree flat on these, but technically I thought I should be.
Mm-hmm.
But now you're saying, because of how my ball flight is and how I'm striking it, that should be smack on bang average Joe and it should be off a
If you
shelf.
want to hit it
No,
straighter,
I want 100%
If
want
you
to
want to
hit
get
it
rid of the rights,
Yeah.
get them more upright. And for
Yeah.
you, if you want to get rid of the lefts, make them flatter.
Because essentially what's
That'll
happening
have a big
is,
impact.
Okay.
like, if these are up a wee bit half a degree flat, that toe's digging a wee bit too much,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
just
yeah.
rotating that heel at it. So again, if you don't like that shot, just by moving it a bit more upright is going to give you a bit more relief in this section here, and that heel is going to help.
That's
again,
absolutely superb. That's
rotate
exactly
that.
what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And that's why then at PXD they've said add a bit extra to the shaft as well because I'm standing up and that makes him.
Yeah, so if when you add a wee quarter inch onto it, you're going to move it like half a degree more upright.
So that you would need to do both of them or just do the longer shaft and that's your fine then.
Yeah, so
Don't need to do it.
no, or we can just move them back to
Yeah.
standard, and it's going to move that strike more.
Yeah,
from toe
can we
side
can
to-
we test you on that if you put my clubs to
Yeah,
standard?
absolutely, we can do that for you.
So this is half a degree flat.
Yeah.
Good strike.
Thank you. It does come back at the end, doesn't it? It does fade a touch, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you're right out the middle there. Club
Yeah.
path for.
Did you hear that, Mark? Did you hear that? Did you get that, guys? Aye. Right in the middle.
But you've got your soft wee cut in there.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a good shot.
Thank you.
Not much wrong with that.
And what about numbers then that Mark was chatting about?
So,
that
I
was a 7 as
mean,
well.
If you're hitting 7 iron there, I mean, your spin rate's a wee touch on the low side.
Right.
So you have got Project X shaft in, it's designed to negate some spin. So from a playable, if you're playing certainly in firmer conditions, that amount of spin might be a little bit tricky.
As in
holding the
for
ball in the
stopping?
green. Yeah.
Yeah.
And your descent angle of 45 with that kind of spin, the ball's coming in a little bit shallow with not enough spin to hold the green, so you might find you're needing to play short of the pin to let it run up to the pin.
And I like spin.
So you're also playing with the shaft that's trying to take spin away.
Right.
So going for something that's maybe a wee bit more active in the tip will generate a bit more backspin. So it will get you to.
So hi
stop
there,
the ball quicker.
MasterCard. I will be using you today. We'll be changing shafts.
Either that or essentially we can lofts a wee bit as well.
Yeah.
How
would you do that,
very dare you?
Launch angle
So
is
that'll
17.
make, sorry to interrupt you there.
Yeah.
That's just what I do, I'm sorry. So if you increase the lofts then, that puts it almost to T100s and no 150s then, doesn't it?
It's almost like splitting different things.
Yeah, so 1 degree rather than 2.
2, correct, yeah.
I'm good for that. And then that increases the
Spin.
and also descent angle then.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I told you this was a great idea.
You did.
Told you this.
You don't have many good ideas.
Not
This was one of the few.
not at all, mate. Taking up darts might be a better idea than I hit a golf ball. Now it's in my mind that I'm flat and I should be upright. That was heavy and a bit towards the heel, I think.
Let's have a
I don't
look.
think that was smack bang out the middle.
No.
Nah,
There you go.
we touch high and pace.
See, I'm a toe boy, innit? I'm
Yeah.
a toe guy.
So I mean, tweaking things could make a difference. Again, though, they're 5,500 spin.
I need to do
Your
that.
spin's pretty bang on the same, isn't it?
Aye,
Fairly
It's
short,
consistent, but I think your shaft may be a wee bit sturdy.
So they are.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting old and
You're not putting quite as much force through it.
I'm early. And see, I'll hit one hard, right, and I'll show you. It
Go
just
for it.
ruins my golf swing. And if there is a golf swing there, it just ruins it. I'll try and hit one hard then. So what was that one?
You're fit 5,500 spin.
Right. So I'll hit it hard.
Sorry.
Nobody laugh, all right? That includes you, Gemma. And then the rights come straight in.
Yeah, that was a good.
That was toey.
Was it?
I
think
definitely
so.
toey, 100%.
Yeah,
it's a
we
wee bit.
touch out the toe.
See, us good golfers know when it's toey and no.
Let's see what's spent.
Mark.
See, you're better.
See,
See, when you've hit that quite aggressively, you've put more energy through the shaft.
And I think that helps the shaft then. That makes the shaft do its job. Actually,
More
doesn't
active.
help, it does its job. But
So
that's what I
you-
said earlier about my swing, I think, from here to ball strike is a bit violent.
But those shafts will work for you when you're fully warmed up, trying to hit it as hard as you can, because then you're getting the
But
bend.
I'll also, that's amazing to be fair, but I also think that when for my golf game, I think most of my golf game is 10 o'clock. I don't
Right.
go to 11 or 12, I go to 10 o'clock and then my transition makes the club drop, obviously. So I've got that, whether you can really tell me if that's right or wrong, but in my head, I think it has to be 3/4.
Right.
And then my speed probably comes at the bottom end of my. I'll hit a normal shot and you can tell me the difference between that one and this one. Because I don't. And if I hit this one really bad, then I'll go to the hard. We'll stick to hitting it hard. Why am I scared to hit it? That's a much slower swing, but that feels. That felt
fine.
middler,
That was nice.
but
that.
that's more fadey, I think.
We'll just have a wee look.
And
much
will, and will
bang
it
on.
drop the spin?
It should do. No, I
No?
mean, you're more at the middle there. So strike was good. Speed's dropped a wee touch. 'cause you weren't
85
going after-
normally, yeah, then go after
So
it.
that's the only thing I think with something like that. If you're not generating as much force as you could do, you might find it's a wee bit on the hard side, which could be negating the spin. Because the earlier couple of swings there, we did see the spin rate quite low. But then again, you're using a shaft that's designed to take some of that spin off. So
That's amazing, isn't it? I'm
Interesting.
definitely not buying new shafts. How much is a new shaft?
it just depends. Depends.
What shaft would you recommend I hit then?
Eh,
If I'm doing that?
something maybe with a wee bit softer on the tip, something like an Acro Green. It's just a wee bit more active to try and not. It's going to
Yeah.
just put a wee bit more spin on it.
Or
What
maybe
balls
like
you-
a wee CT100
Shoot
or
me
something,
up.
just to
Yeah.
get that spin up.
Yeah. And does S300 make any difference compared to Project X? That's probably the same type
It's
of
quite
shaft, isn't it?
heavy as well. isn't
If
it?
you're a wee bit
I
lower
quite like that
launch,
heavy.
wee bit lower. Well, you can still go heavy, but you need something a wee bit more active in the tip.
Yeah.
It's just going to generate a wee
But
bit
I mean-
more spin.
Okay,
Right, should
so
we
you-
get you,
so you can
Let's
boss
try.
right, so I've set you up that.
That's-
we've got kept you in stiff, but that's 100
Sorry,
gram
Gemma.
shaft. It's a wee
Okay.
bit lighter. And we'll get a few baseline
come to the golf
numbers
with your
and
mum,
see how
okay,
that's
okay.
working for you. So let me just switch this.
In the
thing
best
up.
way, Gemma, already.
And again, give me some feedback as well in terms of how it feels.
Yeah, because the more feedback you guys give us, then the more we can start pulling and pushing direction that for you, the golfer's going to benefit. So you're never going to offend me or Rob by saying, I don't quite like this, I don't quite like that, but I really like this. Because you might love a head. You think, oh, okay, Ryan, Rob, I really like this. Can you blend it? Can we match up a shaft that you really like?
Yeah.
And vice versa. We go, I love the feeling how the shaft works for me.
Just how
We
probably give me
find a wee
about
head that
three
makes
or
it
four.
beneficial.
Yeah. It's amazing. Did you slap that?
A bit.
So what shaft is this Mark's got in then?
So I've put him in an Oban CT100.
I genuinely thought you were going to say an old man shaft there, but he said Oban.
Wee bit lighter than what he's been using. It's just to see if you can get a wee bit more energy out of it
Yeah.
compared to what he's been using. Right, give me one more,
Okay.
and we'll do a wee comparison in numbers to see how it's coming out for you.
That'd be really cool. You look well, handsome.
Thanks.
Is that skinny?
A wee bit.
Wee touch. How does the overall weight of the club feel?
Feels too light.
Feels too light?
Yeah.
We'll just do a wee
'cause he's
comparison
at the
in
gym.
numbers here, just to see
'cause he's at the gym.
what we're seeing compared to your own. So,
They were good strikes, boy.
A couple of them, but yeah.
I mean, we've seen a bit of an increase in ball speed. I'm going to take out a couple of the strikes at the start because I don't think they were necessarily the best of connections on there. But if we actually have a look at how much energy you are getting out of the club, your average ball speed by your own is about 105, and then we're up to about 111.
See,
So you're generating more speed off the club.
mental.
But again, the feel of it's not as good, is it?
No.
So we need to look for something maybe a touch heavier with similar characteristics.
Told you it was a great idea.
I know you did. Yeah.
We're also looking at spins dropped a touch
Knowledge is the
there as
bomb.
well,
Okay.
and then average carry's gone up
Okay.
a wee touch.
I don't want him to get too good. We need to give myself that doesn't work. Get one that I'll win every week.
I'll put you
Can I get
one
that
that's a
shot?
wee bit lower launching.
Okay.
And we'll just see how
Oh, you'll not like that?
comes out.
No,
How did the new version of your clubs feel?
very similar to the old version. Yeah,
That's
it
decent
does-
feedback.
In terms of the way,
Is metal still soft? Because I think they improved the forged metal in that as well, didn't they, when they changed the shape?
Slightly, they just
Yeah,
put a
yeah.
wee bit more technology in
They
it.
did,
The
yeah.
reason I've gone for the newer one is because it's a similar thing to what
Is
you're
that you're on
using.
commission
It's
with
just-
Callaway?
Well, it's just so we can do some direct shaft
Sure.
testing because we've got so many options here. We need to keep something at a constant. That's right. Give me a wee bit of
one
that.
thing I find really strange is the grip size.
I bet you do.
Yeah.
And do you think that's got an effect then, now that he's using normal people's grips and no Jolly Green Giant?
As opposed to
Marginally well.
Bryson's grips.
Yeah, the issue is here. We've got such a selection. We can't just have.
But could you have said earlier that, I mean, they're big grips he's got, aren't they?
Yeah, well, as I say, if you're using a grip that's far too big for you, what tends to happen is you can't then quite release that club
Aye.
properly. So even through impact, it might be just a wee smidgen open. Vice versa, if you've got a grip size that's far too small for you, then you get flippy,
Yeah.
and then you get that left ball. So almost try to find that
That balance.
yeah.
And that is the beauty of coming for a fitting.
Yep,
It's good strike there.
essentially, and like grip
Okay, sounds
type,
good, doesn't it?
it's going to affect swing weight as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that. How much does that affect swing weight then?
Quite a lot.
He's got about 5 layers of tape and 4 grips on it.
It depends on the weight of the grip.
Yeah.
It'll
That
take
sounded great,
probably
Mark.
3-4 swing weights off the head.
Does it?
It just
Wow.
depends. It depends. You need to balance it up. It depends on the shaft weight and
Hey,
everything
I'll
like
be
that.
honest with you, I like the weight of that.
That feel better.
Much better.
Okay.
He did, because he's a great. He did?
It does.
He did,
that-
but he's got
that's
a great
10
new smell in his
grams
face
heavier.
there.
Right, I
Okay.
like the weight of that.
Oh,
We'll
I
just-
like that.
We'll have a wee look and see what's happening.
I see.
So club head speed's crept up a wee touch,
Okay.
probably because you can feel what's going on a bit more. Ball speed's up as well, so you're
Yeah,
up to 113
quite jazzy,
on
aren't
average.
Okay.
160 carry through the air and 5,600 spin. I mean, the launch angle's still a wee touch on the high
sorry.
side.
Sorry.
But you are using something that's got quite a traditional loft on it. So if we were to give you something maybe a little stronger loft,
Okay.
similar kind of shaft. I'm going to try in a couple of the graphics.
like
now.
that.
Okay.
I
I did like the weight of that. The weight was
That
much
does
better
feel
for
good.
me.
Good. You can really feel what that
Yeah.
golf club is through your
What was
stomach.
that? Red?
Just a 110. Right, I'll
That's
switch you
Yeah.
over.
But that must be quite similar to your weight of yours, though.
No,
Yours are
No, his is
120s.
heavy-
mine's
his
are
is
heavier
heavier.
than that. I've got a real man's shaft.
Have you? Really?
You've got you've got baby gap
That's
shaft.
okay. I'm a baby cat's fine.
Right, if you give me that one over here.
That actually hurt my back.
Oh, is that your excuse now?
That was such a poor strike as well. To be fair, that came right at the toe.
Right, so we'll let you try a graphite now.
Okay.
Just give you a wee
Didn't
feel.
it? Come right at the toe, didn't
This weight is somewhere
I never
between the
liked
two
the
of the
Okay,
shafts on
right.
there. It's 105 grams.
And again, what sort of like what we have? Is this a stiff or a firm? Or?
It's still a stiff.
Okay.
It's a senior.
but
As I said,
we'll
it's
just
for
see.
senior.
It's a senior
We'll
flex.
see how
Is it
much of an
F
effect
for old
this
fat?
has on your wrench.
I tell you what though, it looks the business. Cause see the black T100 S's that you get with the black shaft and the black grip. They're the dogs. Nobody was listening to a word I said there.
No.
Not happy about that. Fittings for fools. That sounded good.
Mhm.
That sounded middle. Oh, his toe.
Not bad spin rate at the toe though. 5.
Yeah. Use a superb. It's quite wide.
How does the club
nice.
feel?
No.
Not as good.
No.
Gain just with the weight of it.
Yeah. It's not as good. It doesn't. And it feels as though it's going quite high.
Let's see what its launch angle in here.
But that might be a load of
Stuck
nonsense. That's just feel. I'm just,
Yeah.
Yeah, first one was a wee bit.
That sounded all right.
Nah, it's thin.
Skinny? Is that skinny?
Yeah, it's skinny.
Just don't feel like you've got as much control. So
No.
again, knocking you down in weight, it's not really doing
Yeah.
it for you.
Nowhere near it. It just doesn't feel.
Feel as good.
Yeah. I don't feel as I'm getting the feedback from it.
Yeah.
That sounds really weird, maybe, but
No, I think that, and hopefully you guys agree with that. I think the lower handicap you are, the more you rely on that feel.
It's
Yeah.
important.
Because you can,
It's really
when I
important.
hit my iron, and probably everybody below 12 will probably can be able to do it. You kind of, as soon as you hit it, you can go, oh, that's heels,
Yeah.
or that's toes. You
Yeah.
kind of know.
100%.
Because I played a few guys and they say, oh, good shot, and you go, no, really, that was so toey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they go, very good.
so you're talking about obviously. So you think maybe I should change them to tour lofts then, just 2 degrees stronger?
Potentially.
Right,
Potentially. But again, we're just doing some shaft fitting to
Yeah.
try and get you kind of into one. That's 115 grams.
Okay.
So that is the same weight as what you're currently using.
Right.
It's just when I've tried you in the lighter ones, you're just not liking the feel of it
Right.
at all.
You see, you're getting to the big boys now.
I know.
You're getting to the big boys go and play golf, Mark.
Well, the big thing is sound is feel, isn't it?
100%, yeah.
So
And it's weird that, isn't it, that you associate it to. What's your thoughts there?
The weight's much better, but it wasn't a great strike. But
I don't know why it's there out loud, because it's on camera. Is your mind blown, or are you what are you thinking?
no, I'm still thinking.
Can you tell that's a graphite shaft, for instance?
No, not at all.
It doesn't even look like one.
Nah, they've tried to hide it.
Aye. Was it recoil done that as well? Yeah.
Well, there's always the stigma attached with
Aye,
people
yeah.
going into graphite, but there's performance benefits that can be had for it.
It has to be. I mean,
but-
DeChambeau's an absolute scientist, so if he's doing it, then there has to be something. He wouldn't do anything for no benefit.
Well, you can't really make a steel shaft as stiff as you can make a graphite shaft.
Yeah.
How did that feel?
It felt really quite good.
We'll just have a wee comparison with numbers there, see which. So if I get rid of the previous one you had, because you didn't like the feel of
Yeah.
that whatsoever. So for comparing averaging, your club head speed's up. We're up to 85 mile an hour there. The thing is though, our ball speed's down. Okay, so you're swinging it faster, but you're struggling to find the middle of face as much. The red one's still a better fit for you. And in terms of matching numbers up, Acro Red's still the best fit.
It's one that probably felt the best as well, isn't it?
So I'm going to give you a try one more, just to see if we can improve on what we have with the Acra. But that's what we do. There is a wee bit of trial and error with this. I've got a rough idea in terms of weights and feel for you, but again, I need a bit of feedback from you. At the end of the day, it's your fit. It's got to feel right in your hand. Right, give me a wee crack with this one.
It's good, isn't it?
That's good.
Makes you think like mad though, doesn't it?
Mhm.
It blows your mind, eh? You start thinking, am I bought the right clubs? Am I buying the right clubs?
Yeah.
When I buy them, should I go for fitting first?
But the thing is, though, that most of us tend to just buy clubs.
Or you should come for your fitting and buy it at the same time.
No, but you
That's
tend to
what
buy
you should do.
online.
It's all done for you guys.
Well, it's
Because,
like,
you know-
it's like if you go and buy a suit out the shop,
Yeah.
or you can get one tailored.
So
to
if
fit you.
we came for a fitting and you've randomly got tailor-made, obviously Callaway heads there, but you're a Titleist fan, you can then fit us and we can say, I like T100s, and then you can associate that shaft to that head, and then we can just go and order it through you guys.
Yeah.
Well, that Scottsdale can do that.
The way that we work, though, we'll fit you in a shaft, and now after we've got the right shaft, we're gonna let them try some different brands of heads.
Superb.
The-
Absolutely superb. Then you're going to ask me to hit a golf ball in about 10 minutes, and I'm going to be so and old and stiff that I'll be worse. So you think then I should go back to standard?
Yeah, back to standard, maybe just go on the G.O.A.T. If you like the shaft.
Oh, I do. I've played Project X before, but I've never not had spin on my lower irons. I've never not had spin.
Straight enough,
But that
very
scared me.
straight. There's like no deviation.
Yeah.
Did you see that, Gemma? I shut up there. Did you see that when the
Well,
second person spoke?
I quite like them, but
Yeah?
I just don't feel as I'm getting enough.
Out of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I do like the way they feel.
Right, we'll have a wee comparison. Can you give me one more with that, please?
Right.
If that's all right.
Thanks.
If you need to get into a senior shaft, Mark, just swallow your pride, mate,
That's
and go.
okay. Gary, I genuinely don't care.
It doesn't mean you need to go to the gym or anything.
No. Because I have no time to go to the gym, especially with the podcast.
Listen, that's a delicate subject. That sounded a good
Good
strike.
strike.
Nah, it's a bit off.
Did you just leak out there a wee touch?
Yeah.
Not done
I
that.
would bet that would be Healy.
Right, so if we come
Was
over
it
and
Healy?
have
Yeah.
we look at numbers.
I think I'm in the wrong job. Hang on, I should be fitter.
So,
Sorry.
it's not bad, is it?
It's all right, yeah, and it does hit it really quite straight.
So if we are having a look at what you're getting out of the shafts there, in terms of ball speed, you're still getting the most ball speed coming out with your acro.
Yeah.
So again, if we're generating more ball speed, we should
Much
be
more.
generating a bit more distance. The one thing we are seeing though in terms of spin rates, the spin rate on this is mega low.
Yeah.
So it's coming out with under 5,000 revs of spin. So as a result, you swing it slower, you're generating more distance, but it's not a playable spin rate.
Right.
You need to have something that when you're out there that you can hit those shots that are going to
Yeah.
land and stop.
To be fair, I do feel that I liked the sort of the feedback I got from that when I hit the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's one that's really stiff in
Nine.
the tip. It's trying to negate
weaker?
some loft and keep your
Okay.
ball
What do you
flicked
think?
down a touch
So
there.
8,
I just
So,
like that. I like
For
that.
what have you
What
got?
we'll do in a sec, we'll give you a go at some of the other heads.
Okay,
Nice.
cool.
All right. So,
Would you still be recommending on the lower irons then? The spin levels are too low.
if you give me that.
Cheers, thank you.
Again.
8,000 should spin, shouldn't
Oh,
it?
plenty of spin in that, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely plenty. Good descent as well. Yeah, it's nice. I think what would be quite cool to do is maybe tweak one their 7 iron just now to see what happens
Go for it.
there and then, yeah.
Go for it.
Because if you're at the shaft,
But you do know if you're doing one and it goes well, you're doing them all.
1,000%, yeah.
Yes.
So,
How
are
they
there
get a
any-
freebie?
Are there any manufacturers you want to have a go of?
He wants mine.
T100s, but not the 100S, these 100s.
He's not a big enough boy to hit
My only
T150s.
concern with those, though,
Uh-huh.
you want to lower your ball flight.
Which I know, and it's their standard loft. And that.
T100s will be higher
Did you
loft
get
than
that?
what you're currently
That was a
using.
I know
really good
that.
swing there.
So for that reason alone,
Look at
well,
that.
I
Look,
could give you a
look,
go
come
with
here,
them,
come here. Look.
but I'd be more
What do you think then?
Oh, yeah, boss,
150s or 100s?
150s.
Or 100Ss? No.
At the end of the day, if you're decreasing the
back up to
dynamic
standards,
loft,
there's
you're going to see
half
a
a
lower
degree.
ball.
Okay, let's go for
Sorry,
150s
did you see that? Look at that
No.
ball strike. Jockey Wilson couldn't have put a dart in that any better.
I know.
You see that? Look at that.
What club you hitting?
That was just a 9. I
Um,
didn't have a have. I had a great.
so any others? We've got like Strixon, Mizuno, TaylorMade.
Can't feel him as well.
I'd either go back to
He's going to buy these. He's kidding himself. He's
honestly-
buying Titleist.
probably that.
Other
or
manufacturers
Apex
are
Pros.
available.
That's probably what I'd stick with now.
Yeah?
So, yeah. There's nothing else on there that I think to myself. Not really. TaylorMade's, I think, make amazing drivers, but I'm not necessarily convinced to make amazing irons. But I might be wrong.
Well, that's the
And,
thing.
and if you can convince me otherwise, then I'm happy to.
The thing with the way we work though, when I've given you a go this, I can just stick another
Yes,
head
I
on
can
with
play
that
golf.
shaft.
What do you think? I mean,
One of the best irons on the market is probably the Strixon irons. The
seriously?
ZX5 and ZX7.
ZX5s are really
phenomenal.
nice.
Yeah.
Real nice.
The feel off them's really good.
Yeah.
The forging's probably softer than a
Is
Titleist
it?
forging.
TaylorMade on
more like,
Strixon.
so more like the old.
What's that?
The TaylorMade on Strixon.
No, Cleveland and Strixon
Cleveland and Strixon.
are under the
Yeah.
same.
So a bit
same
like the old
belt.
Mizuno then, the Mizuno TPs. Sort of.
Both of them super soft.
Yeah.
So, right,
Okay. Cool.
he's a wee crack with that.
Okay.
I'll just
We
change
hit.
A 7 iron, I think. I'm hitting
T100.
150s. Same as, exact same as
Is it
you.
massive you're hitting?
It's just something to get his launch down a wee touch.
Playing with the big boy clubs now, mate.
Like 1 week
Sounded a
standing
good
line.
strike.
Did it sound a good strike? We'll just see if his Jockey Wilson's on.
Yeah, isn't it?
No bad.
He's not the same league. It's no dead eye dick yet. You're getting there, pal. You're a wee bit
We're
more.
at the spin rates.
A bit more practice.
We're up a wee touch
Yeah.
more. It's not bad.
Come off that.
You sit down.
Just left the face open a touch.
Yeah.
Will we say Healy or nearly a shank? You like to say that in here? Is that a sweary word?
No, sweet. Yeah.
Shank. Oh. You know pinky?
No.
How
That's
does
how I hit
that?
the shot. That's how I hit shots.
How does that feel compared to the Callaway?
It's quite similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just do a wee comparison.
And that's the
of
exact
numbers.
same as mine.
Uh-huh. It's very similar.
So if we were comparing what you were getting out of it, your swing speed's up a touch
It's quick
there.
and easy, eh?
But you're still not, your ball speed's not as good. You're not hitting that as far. Our spin rate's up a touch for sure, but also our launch angle's up.
Sorry, Mark.
As well. So you're adding loft
And
to
this
that
is-
compared to what
Am
we're
I?
doing with the
One
Callaway.
day.
Okay.
So for that alone, especially if we're looking to get that launch angle down, I thought you're probably looking at a couple of different head speeds.
Okay.
So this is standard now then?
Standard, lie, and then 1 degree week.
Jeez, mate, jeez.
1 degree week.
What's that, 3 yards? Am I losing 3 yards with a degree?
You might, but you might then get that control. Might not be as then jumpy off the face.
Right.
So what you might lose in distance, you're going to gain in control.
Accuracy?
Yeah.
He says. That was a rubbish strike. That was toey.
Cool. That's nice, isn't it?
Uh-huh. That was,
Even that though.
that was a golf swing. That wasn't the golf club. What are you going to say there?
Even with that one there, look at your strike there before you hit this one.
Yeah, it's rubbish, isn't it? What? It was rubbish strike, wasn't it?
Wasn't your best.
Can we cut that bit? That was a strike.
That sounded good.
That was a strike.
Yeah, I mean,
I won't say it's right in the middle again, right? I won't say it again. And how much is that better spin rates than that then? Or is it no made a bit?
Well, we were 5.74, then we were 5.9.
Right.
So we've gained 200 revs, and now we're closer to
And should 7 iron be 6,000?
6.1, 6.2, if not a wee bit.
And the descent angle's now up to 46 rather than 45.
Yeah, which
bit
is
better.
nice.
Bit better.
And that's just one wee tweak. Already I've seen a difference in terms of spin and descent, just by tweaking it 1 degree.
You've not lost. I mean, 170 yards is fine.
You're still 163 through the air, so it's
Yeah.
still a very much
And
playable.
I'll be honest, I think when I was hitting Callaway and the Titleist AP2718s,
Yeah,
I definitely was the 163. I've never been a long iron player. I hasn't hit my irons long. I've always kind of concentrated on dispersion and accuracy.
yes.
So I'm quite happy with that. See, that's right. So I'll take that. I would like
One in
to
every
do that
15?
with all of them.
Yeah.
1,000%. We'll,
Is that all right?
we'll do that just now for you, yeah?
That is different class. And it'd be interesting to see how that 4 iron works, because the 4 iron was obviously like hitting a 2.5. It's definitely not a 3, because the ball flight in the 4 is so low. Like I said to you earlier, because the edge isn't as chamfered as you look at a 718 or an AP2.
Yeah.
The first couple with that off the mat, I was like, I've just bought the wrong golf clubs. Just for that 1 iron, because it just annoys you. But
Yeah.
that'll work. Aye, that'd be great. I would love that.
1,000%. We'll get.
How good is that fitting? You have to come and get fitted. And you two can hit a slap like that. Cut.
See,
That's definitely coming out that one.
That was not your finest.
That was I nearly missed that.
It's off the,
Did almost
that's off
missed
the shiny bit.
That is. I need to hit one more for
Aye.
that.
So
That
obviously,
was-
you know, and to bit serious, obviously Gary's off +2, +3.
Not with that
you know,
golf swing.
No, not with that golf swing. You know, and I'm
That was
obviously you know,
shocking.
a low golfer as well. For an average golfer, and this is what we aim at, is average guys. What benefit did they get out of this? You know,
That was the same.
Say I've been here off 14, 15.
That was the
What difference do you think that could ultimately make to their game?
I think it can make as much to a better player as kind of your average golfer.
Okay.
It can really rule out the equipment being incorrect, and it can make a big difference, because especially if the length, the lie's wrong, shaft flex is wrong, that golfer's fighting against what clubs they're using.
Okay.
So yeah, it can make a huge difference.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Which is what Roddy was fighting against that on Saturday.
Roddy, we need to bring Roddy to you.
Roddy
Roddy's just
gets
the
14
best
ones,
guy
but,
ever.
you know,
He's the best guy ever. He's I think he's 13 just now handicap.
no, he's nice now.
But is it 12?
Yeah, I think.
12. But he hits middle.
Yeah.
But he's got no distance whatsoever, and he has got a golf swing like a giraffe taking a drink. He swings like this because his back's wrecked. And we talk about it all the time in the podcast, and probably the guys that listen are fed up hearing about it, but he hits. He's got a ratio, it's called the wand. And he only hits at 130 probably, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But it lands with spin.
What?
A rescue. An old-fashioned, I'm sure it's a tailor-made burner
Yeah.
for back in the day. And he just middles it every time. Every time, but he's got no distance.
But his yardage control on it is phenomenal because
he
he said
he's
to me on
such
the
a good
second, he said,
golfer.
I'm going to leave us 100 yards short of the green. I mean, up and actually we measured it, it was 98 yards.
He's good.
His
He's
control in it is phenomenal.
It's when you're playing a scramble with him, you kind of put him in positions where he doesn't get, with all due respect to him, because I love the guy, but you don't put him in a position where he normally is for his normal golf game. So when he's got a short iron in his hand, well, we're maybe hitting wedges, Rod will be hitting like an 8 probably, or his wand, and he'll go down, he'll just tickle it, he'll just hit it, and it lands like a butterfly with so feet.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'd love to be able to do that. So I think, I mean, he didn't get fitted, he got a lesson, and he went from that position, obviously he looked upright, and he hit it 20 yards further, but everything straight left.
Right,
so I think a lesson and a fitting combined would be so beneficial for Roddy. And that's the exact premise he has him on a podcast based on a fitting, is that the normal everyday golfer, and sorry Roddy, but that's what I think you are, is that's the guys that it really benefits. Because he could be gone from feeling really comfortable, slightly uncomfortable, but his golf game will be so
because his misses are a lot better. And I don't really
They're not
mind.
as painful.
Yeah. And I don't really mind anyone really having like a teddy bear in their bag of a club. Like old trust, like old reliable.
Yeah.
You see it
My
in tour,
52.
you see it in tour players' bags.
Yeah.
You go to a shot like Justin Thomas's 5-wood, it's
Head extensions,
head
3-wood.
extension 3-wood,
Yeah.
because if they're not having a great day, then okay, it's okay, I can pull this out because I know what it does, I know the distance it goes. So I wouldn't even mind even having that, because it's a club that he loves and trusts.
So good at it, honestly.
So having that in the bag as well, we can go, okay, then okay, this is the we can build it, or we can essentially fit him everything
Round
down
about
to
that.
and keep Old Faithful in there.
See, that's incredible, because you could then look at the tolerances his golf swing that he has with the wand,
Yeah.
and then build whatever his specs in all the way
you
down
build,
through.
you build to him rather than the other way about. You don't build the clubs to.
This is Roddy. This is
That's-
why I tell you to come on the podcast, mate. You could have been here the day getting sorted.
I know.
You've been here.
I'm playing good golf on Saturday at 8:02.
You're delighted with that,
I'm
aren't you?
absolutely over the moon at 8:02 on a Saturday morning.
Brilliant. I think we could. Can I come and see? Can we do that? I know we're live, but can we go in and see fixing loft
process?
and lie?
Yeah. Would you
Specs,
mind
you
doing
coming
that?
with me?
100%, yeah.
Come on then, we'll grab all these.
Yeah.
You can
absolutely.
pretend you're hitting golf balls with your
right.
senior,
What-
your
should
senior
Should we
wedges.
just continue?
Yeah, if you don't mind. that's
Right,
okay.
so I'll put you in the same shaft, but I'll put you in
Right.
one of the Mizuno heads.
Listen.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah, all right.
And we'll just have a wee comparison and see how this comes out.
Straight away. That was
Feels
good.
better.
Oh yeah.
So that's the thing, because we've got you in a shaft that's working well for you. The way that we work, because we've got the independent fitting system, we can change the heads over.
Yeah.
So it's just dialing things in. And I mean, coming out good. Still launching a wee touch high there, mate. How's the strike there?
It feels as though it's coming. I was going to say coming up pretty close to the middle.
It didn't pick that one up for some reason.
Right. Okay.
Spin rate's not high enough, I've got to say.
Okay.
It's very low.
That's a bit skinny.
It's not a bad miss out there. Give me one more and we'll just do a wee comparison
Okay.
between that and what you're getting out the Callaways. Sounded good.
Yeah. I'd say that's.
How that felt as good as anything you've hit today?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you're going into something a wee bit softer in terms of forgings, you're getting a wee bit better feedback
Yeah.
on it. So if we're comparing what's coming out there compared to what we saw with your With the Callaways, swing speed's up a touch, ball speed's matching it, carry distance is matching it as well. I mean, they're not drastically different in terms of numbers, but the feedback you're getting off that's better.
The feel is,
Interesting.
Yeah.
So for that
Feel
alone,
off the
I'd
shot.
probably rule the Titleist out because
Okay.
they're not doing anything that the other brands are.
No. Okay.
But yeah, that's what you're getting, really soft forging.
So we're trying the Strixon then?
Yeah, definitely. We'll just see how that comes out in comparison. Because that's the thing, if you're going to change your clubs at some point, obviously performance-wise, we'd love for that to be improved.
Sure.
Which we are getting because you're going into shaft that's a bit better characteristics.
Yeah,
than
no,
what
I
you're
did
looking
definitely.
for. But also feedback is massive. It's where you see guys going from cast clubs to forged clubs.
Yeah.
The feedback off them is so much better.
Do you know, and I suppose the difference is, having used forged clubs pretty much most of my life,
Yeah.
getting something slightly softer, and the feedback even from what is a very good, the Apex Pro is a very good club,
Yeah.
to go into something like that, which is much softer. All of a sudden, you're saying this is very similar in terms of...
Some of your Japanese brands, it's the way they're made, the metal, the feedback you get off them, you get better feedback off.
But a lot of that's for the fact is their forging process is hundreds of years old. You know.
It's a wee bit, they line all the grains up and things
Yeah.
like that. Callaway and TaylorMade are newer into the game of forging irons, whereas these guys have been doing it for such a long period of time, especially if you think of Mizuno. Right, give me a wee go with this one.
Okay.
This is our Strixon ZX5, and I will try in the smaller headed one as well in a wee sec. Just a wee bit tuggy.
No, that's a super strike. I'm going to be honest
Right
with you.
out the middle. It was just direction there.
Yeah.
Actually, it's shifted. It's not shifted too much, mate. Launch angle's a wee touch higher there than
It
what we've
was
seen
it
with
was
Mizuno.
it was high.
It's a good strike. How does that one feel?
Oh, to be honest, that feels really, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me one more with that one.
Okay.
See, we're getting a wee touch more spin on there as well. It's good.
No, that's
Just-
Healy.
That was just a wee touch low in the face as well. Just leave the blade open there a bit.
A wee bit, yeah.
Right, give me one more with that one.
Yeah.
Okay, was that just a bad swing?
It was a bad swing. Yeah. I'm not sure I can hit the ball much better than
It's
that.
not a bad flight on that, is it?
Yeah.
So, I mean, look at your strike on there as well. Good. One thing I'm going to say to you though, see, like, have you been having any lessons at all?
No, I've never had a lesson.
So, one thing that's definitely evident with you is your attack angle. You're very, very positive with your attack
Okay.
angle. Especially when the ball's in the ground, you need to hit down.
Right, okay.
Because if you, irrelevant of all of this, I mean, if we're looking at your numbers, Mizuno has come off the best, okay? Strixon's coming off, but we're still coming off good, but we're not hitting it quite as far as what you were getting with the Mizuno. We did have one really bad strike in there. So, I mean, if I was to take that one out of there, we're still a wee touch behind what we're getting out of Mizuno. Mizuno's giving us kind of the best variation in numbers. And certainly as well, launch angle's probably been the lowest with Mizuno compared to the other ones, and land angle there at about 47. One thing I would definitely say for you as well is, like, that shaft's a good fit for you, and you've gone into a head, I would say, that's going to feel better. You're going to get a bit better feedback on it. But yeah, 100%, as much as we can help with the clubs, your attack angle being quite shallow, you're positive in there.
Okay, so obviously that's a good.
Do you want me to give you a wee demonstration?
Go on then, give me a wee
All right,
demonstration.
okay. So in terms of what you're doing, okay, with an iron, you're basically hitting up on it. Okay, so you're adding all that loft to the club. It's going to encourage the ball flight to get up there. And in terms of strike-wise, it won't help you as much. You're not really compressing it
Okay.
If you look at any of your good golfers, the ones that the noise off the club face, it just fizzes off there. So you generally, because you're not hitting down as much, you're kind of adding all that loft to it. You're not getting quite as much compression.
Right.
So we can give you a shaft and a head that is going to help you flight it down. But if you're more encouraged to maybe get that weight transfer and a wee bit more.
But ultimately, a lesson would be a good thing as well. And even at my level, a lesson would be a good thing.
Why wouldn't it be?
Well, this is what we're trying to say, because most people will not invest. They'll go and spend £500 in a driver.
Yeah.
You know, and this is the argument we'll be talking about is, and you'll spend thousands of pounds in irons, but not get them fitted.
Yep.
Expect them to all of a sudden be the holy grail on a Saturday morning.
Yeah.
But you're not going to spend 35 quid in a lesson. And on top of that, you're not going to invest in a proper putter as well.
I know, it's crazy.
I've got a Scotty Cam Fusion 5X, and I love the feel off of it. And it's taken me a long time to get to a putter that I really like.
Yeah.
I went through everything from Wilson 802s and 803s, the old style
wee
stuff.
blades and stuff.
Yeah. You know, just to get the feel. And I do feel the feedback I get from the Fusion is much better.
Yeah. I think it's crazy if you're going to invest in
so
clubs.
The Futura, I'm not Fusion, the Futura. Sorry.
If you're going to invest in clubs, why wouldn't you just get them fitted? There's so many options out there now.
But also the guys will spend hundreds and thousands of pounds in clubs, but not go and invest in themselves as a golfer.
The one thing with fitting is you're going to rule out the clubs being wrong for you.
Yeah.
It's our job to get you as good a combination of head and shaft and grip and everything to make golf as easy as possible for you and give you the kind of results you're looking for. But you need to match that up with technique.
But then that begs the question, then if I go and get a lesson and I come back, are they the wrong clubs for me?
The way that Scottsdale works is though, because they're all covered under warranty with us, if lies and lofts and things need altered, we do that. We don't charge you extra for that.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of shaft, the fitter needs to still take into account what your intention is, what you're going to be working on. But yeah, there can be alterations. Maybe like him, he's got his new irons, but the lies aren't necessarily correct for him. So yeah, getting back to what I was saying, hitting down on it. Okay, so you need to get a wee bit of a feel of that club working down. Okay, so you can compress the ball a bit more. Your club, as it's coming down there, it doesn't really, as I say, it doesn't take any divot. It doesn't compress the ball at all. That would also give you a little bit of encouragement to de-loft in it.
Sure.
But again, I've given you a club there that is a little bit stronger loft, which is going to get that flight down a bit. You've got a shaft there that's a wee bit more stable in the tip section than what you're using, so it's trying to negate loft. So that's where a club will assist you.
Okay.
You're getting more out of it. You wanted more distance as well, which
will we have a shot at my bogey club then?
Go on then.
My driver?
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Right. Come on, you've convinced me with the irons. Right? So
right, I'll just set up our wee slide in here. We'll get a wee bit of numbers.
The good is right in the middle and long.
Yeah.
The bad can be a snap hook left, or it can be starts right and goes further right.
Cool.
So it's a bit of...
So would you say this is the club that you have the least confidence with?
Absolutely.
Okay.
100%.
Hear it all the time?
Yeah.
Driver's the longest club. It's got the least loft.
And it's the club that probably... My irons, as you can see, are pretty much okay.
It's good.
I've got a wee sort of utility that we tailor-made. It's the Stealth Plus that I can hit, and I can shape shots. I can hit a sort of slight cut, and I can, completely confident in it, to the point I've just went and bought a 2 as opposed to as well as a 3.
All right, okay,
And I'm going to get rid of my 3-wood.
Yeah.
Because I have no confidence in the 3-wood. Mm-hmm. This is a club that costs me, every shot in my handicap is cost using this. Nothing else. This is the club that costs me the most. So.
Sure. We'll get some numbers on it
and see
what's happening.
So
I'll
just grab some
tees. How high do you like to tee it?
Pretty high.
Okay, well, like pink tee?
We'll go for that, yeah.
Pop that one in for me, and we'll just see.
Okay.
Right, we'll get a few baseline numbers, see how this guy's working for us, and then try and get you something that's a wee bit easier for you to use.
Now, a lot of this could just be down to the way I swing at it. It 100%. Might not actually be the club, so.
How was the strike?
That was a good strike, I think. Cool. It's out of bounds now, but it's a good strike. It was a good hit.
I mean, you're pretty out in the middle there. Look at your strike on there.
Yeah.
Your club face 4 degrees open.
Okay.
Centerness of strike with the driver is such a key thing.
Yeah.
Majority of golfers play a driver shaft that's too long for them.
Okay.
So they cannot
And you
find
said you thought this was maybe too long.
Well, that's 46 inches. I would say that's way too
And
long.
hence why I go slightly down on it.
It's good strike again, but 17 launch, open club face coming into impact. You hit it up massively, but you mean you're 7 degrees open there?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that can also, yeah, okay.
What will happen though, when you're doing that on the golf course and you're leaving the face so open, subconsciously your brain's going to be like, hold on a second here, I need to do something about it, so I'm going to try and flip the face shut. So therefore, you're going to get your two-way miss.
Okay.
All right, give me one more.
Right.
A wee bit better.
I'm not as much wrong with that. It's right. That's straight. And yeah, I take that every day.
We'll have a look at numbers.
Okay.
That last one there was good. 13 launch, 2,400 spin. Awesome.
Okay.
The issue is, it's not when you hit your good ones, it's when you hit your bad ones.
Yeah.
That's when it's been quite disruptive.
And I'm hitting it.
Well, this is your heat map. So this shows us where you're making contact without the club face.
Okay.
The fact that we aren't finding the good part of the club, but generally suggests to me that your driver's a wee bit on the long side.
Okay.
Okay. Because you're not getting the good part.
Right.
The driver is such an important thing about hitting out the middle. And if you are hitting it off centre, you're going to really struggle to find the fairways.
Okay.
Okay. Let alone the other stuff. We're looking as well, club head speed. Club head speed at under 100 mile an hour. I mean, we might see some on the course
just old age.
that pop up a wee
Yeah.
bit. So giving you something that's going to work in terms of shafts really important.
Okay.
You don't want to be playing something that's too sturdy for you because you can't. We're talking
Because the
about
ball speed's pretty similar, so.
ball speed's okay, but again,
I'm going to be honest with you and say that. See that like that last one. It's obviously just under 270.
Yeah.
That's me now. I can't hit the ball 300 yards anymore. It's just unfortunately, as you get older, that's what happens.
Yeah, 100%. Numbers there are good, but it's just, as I say, when you miss hit it, you lose so much. You lose your dispersion.
Yeah.
And we've seen the kind of two different shots you've hit there. You've left either the face open or you've shut that face down.
Yeah.
So we'll try in some other stuff.
Okay, let's try something else.
So what I'm going to do as well, because the problem is with your Stealth 2, it's not the most forgiving club head in the world.
Yeah.
So I think we'll start off. We'll do a bit of shaft testing like we did before, but I'm going to pop you into TaylorMade QI10 Max,
Okay, no worries.
which is basically one of the most forgiving drivers in the market at the minute. What loft are you playing that in?
9.
9. Okay, so then I'll pop you down and 9-degree head. And yeah, I mean, I'm going to give you something a little bit more stable in the tip.
Okay.
Okay. And again, are we looking for a little bit more distance out of it if possible? Straighter and further? Just everything?
Which is what everybody wants, isn't it?
Yeah. So I mean,
what do you want? It straight and further? Yeah, okay.
Straighter, further, that's the way to go.
Yeah, no, I want it shorter and I want it wide, right?
Again, the main thing I would say for you,
Yeah.
if you don't necessarily gain any distance, but you improve your fairway set, that's going to be massive for you.
For me, that would be, I would take even a slight shorter of distance. I even went to an extra stiff to try and just to bring it in, but the weight was too heavy.
The one thing is as well, with you playing extra stiff with that kind of club head speed, you're not going to be able to bend the shaft. You're going to lose distance.
I know.
So what I'm going to do, I'll try in something a little bit lighter and something really, really stable in the tip.
Okay.
So that is a Velocore shaft. So this is one you see a lot with the guys on tour.
Sure.
It's basically lots and lots of weaves of graphite in the tip section to make that head as stable as possible as it's coming through impact. I've also given you one of the most forgiving heads in the market as well. So we're going to see what happens. Because something like this, if you do
there's no pressure on, obviously.
Not at all. If you do miss-hit this, you're getting a lot of help to try and present that face back in a square fashion.
Cool.
Right. That's
still standard length.
That's half an inch shorter than what you're using.
Right.
Because in my opinion, there's no way you should be playing with something as long as that. I'll just get you a tee in a wee sec. Let me just change this up for us.
Right, yeah, sorry. Thank you.
There you go, mate. So, a wee bit different looking in terms of head.
Yeah.
The MOI's a bit greater than this. This kind of centre of gravity stretched back a touch. good strike. I don't think that was.
Yeah.
Let's see where we are. It's middle strike. Fantastic. Just left the face very, very open there.
Right, okay.
Wee bit better connection there.
Yeah, I think it probably was.
Yeah, good numbers there. Just a touchdown left. Hit,
Yeah.
hit maybe 2 more for me with that one. Cool. How was the strike there?
That was all right.
No bad.
That was all right.
I absolutely ripped it.
Yeah, that wasn't bad.
That's okay. Yeah, it's not picked up spin on that one for some reason. Right, give me one more with that. It's good. I mean, launch is definitely launching up there. We probably need to look for something that's going to keep some of the loft down on it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just have a wee look in comparison to numbers. Okay, so in relation to what we're seeing with your own, on average, we're getting a touch more carry on there. And in total distance, we are getting a little bit more, but our spin rate's up too much. We need to give you something that's going to spin it down. One thing I'm going to show you though is if we look at your heat map here with your 46-inch shaft, and we look at what the heat map is with the 45 and a half,
yeah.
it's much closer
Isn't
to the
it?
middle. You're
What
much
a
easier to
difference.
find the middle of the face. And I mean, looking at that, I'd maybe be tempted to go even a touch under.
Okay.
It's just showing you that in terms of what you're doing with your current driver, you're not optimizing what you're pushing. How
Right.
did the overall weight of the club
I liked
feel?
it.
Didn't feel too light?
No.
What I'll do then is we'll try you in something that's going to give us a little bit lower launch.
Okay.
Okay. But I'll keep similar weight to it, and hopefully we can knock a wee bit of spin off. The thing is, if we're allowing you to find the middle of the face, we can really dial in the numbers of
Right,
what
okay.
we're seeing. But yeah, at the minute, I'm not saying you can blame your club for every bad shot, but the driver you're using at the minute's not assisting you. You could definitely do with something a wee bit shorter than standard. Well, even in your case, so yours not even standard. Yours is longer than standard.
Uh-huh.
The thing is, if you want to swing it faster and hit it further, it's not a lie. If you swing it with a longer club, you will hit it further.
Of course you will, yeah.
But the issue is when you don't hit it in the middle.
I'm happy. So, if I sort of, you're saying off the average here, see if those numbers there, it's at 266. If I did that every time,
Yeah.
I'd be okay with that. I don't need to hit it. I'm no longer 266, 270.
Yep.
On most courses in this country, usually puts me in quite a good position,
100%.
as long as that's the middle of the fairway.
But that's the problem.
Yeah.
And if you are mishitting it, if you are missing the middle of the driver face, you're going to be putting yourself, I've got some TC on it, you're going to be putting yourself in quite a lot of bother.
Yeah.
See if that's long enough, or if not, I've got a couple more. I will do it a wee collection. We lose quite a lot out the front of the bay here because they just go flying. Right, I'll just change our setup on here.
Is it the ball that's got a GPS in it, or is it that is locking on?
So the TrackMan's basically got 2 radars in it. So it's basically the same technology that the military use to track missiles, because these are essentially, do you want me to do it? These are essentially mini missiles.
I need something longer, I think. That's the problem. Right.
Impressive technology, that, isn't it?
That's good.
Right, so what's this we've got on here now?
So this is similar weight in terms of shaft. It's just a little bit stiffer in the tip section. It's just trying to get our spin and launch down a touch. But again, helping you find the middle of the face.
No. That was a bad swing.
Bad swing? No problem at all. It's a good strike.
Mm-hmm.
Have a look again though. Look where you're hitting out the club face.
Yeah.
You're struggling to miss the middle of the face now. So that, from my perspective there, in terms of how the shaft's working for you, is really good. what we are seeing, there's spin rates down, but we need to probably loft you down a touch. I mean, that's flying 250 through the air out to 271 with under 2,500 spin. It's decent numbers for sure. But the thing is,
these numbers for the old guys, is that what you're going to say?
it's all right. But again, that's we're starting to optimise what you're doing. I still think with our launch angle, especially with you playing round Scotland, we'd probably be looking to get the launch angle down a bit. Touch. It's whether I can do that with a shaft, or maybe we need to look at a head for you.
Okay.
But I mean, the massive thing we're rolling out is your miss hits.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden it's so much tighter. You're a bit, but you're not as bad as you think you are, by the way.
Okay.
It's because your club's far too long for you.
Is that what it is? Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's and I think I know about a wee bit about clubs, and I've even picked their own clubs for myself. So it's
most players play a driver that's too long. Most players on tour play under standard length.
Do they?
But yet the amateur golfers play the length that the companies tell them to use.
Sure.
But finding the middle face is brutal. So let's try in a slightly different head.
Okay.
All right. So again, that felt all right.
I like that.
Quite forgiving.
Is a sort of, there's also a familiar feel off it because it's a tailor-made.
100%.
So
100%. So what we'll do is I'm going to try you in just the standard QI10 head, just because it's a wee bit lower launch.
Okay.
That's the same head that Rory McIlroy and Scheffler have gone into. It's amazing this year, a lot of the guys haven't been necessarily playing the sort of smaller, harder to hit stuff.
Okay.
Especially with, I think it was McIlroy especially, he was in the low spin head, but he just found that his miss hits weren't quite as good when he went into the standard head.
Okay.
So we'll give you a wee crack with this and we just see how it comes out. The other thing as well, give me a wee idea in how this looks, because this is going to look a bit more classic compared to what you've been having. All right. But again, overall weight of the club felt good.
I did. I like the weight of it. Yeah.
Cool. And it doesn't feel overly stiff in any way.
No.
Feels like you've got some control. So that's like a 55 gram shaft.
Okay.
So we're trying to get you a little bit more out of it, but still having that control over where the golf club is.
Yeah, as you said, it's a more classic look to that, isn't there?
Yeah, a wee bit more rounded. So let me just change our slide over on here. And then we'll just see how this comes out in comparison. Right, nice one.
No.
I think, was that just a bad swing on there, or did the club...
I think I'm starting to come up to look for it a wee bit there. I think I was up quite early.
Watch the strike.
How was the strike? It felt...
You were right out the middle, but I mean, you were 7 degrees close, 7 degrees open.
Yeah, I think
so. No wonder that's going so far right. We've out the toe there.
No?
The thing is with that head, it's not quite as forgiving as the other one.
No one
so
here.
Your miss hits aren't as good. So
Because
what we could
exaggerated,
potentially do though is, I'll try in one of the other manufacturers, and
Okay.
if not, we could just loft the other head down a touch just to get those launch conditions a bit better.
No, I don't.
It's not as good.
No.
Your miss hits aren't anywhere near as good with that. Nowhere near as much control over where the golf club is.
No.
Right, we'll try to put you on the dark side. We'll try in a Callaway driver.
Okay.
But if not, I mean, if we look at your actual strike patterns for what we were seeing on there, look at this.
I know.
The last one there, though, it's all over the place again.
I just didn't feel as I had the control over it.
Yeah, interesting. These are all super forgiving drivers, but it just goes to show not all clubs are designed for each golfer. If you read reviews on all of these clubs, they're all going to give you good reviews. They're all good, but they're not necessarily right for you.
Yeah.
That's where, again, if you come and get custom fitted, that's our job to kind of point you in the right direction.
And I suppose the beauty is that ultimately today we could start something and I could walk out and
100%.
tomorrow I'm playing with the clubs that I've been fitted for today, and nobody else offers that.
No, we keep all this stuff next door, so it'll get built up for you. You can sit and watch it getting built as well, which is quite a cool process.
Which is quite cool.
People at the end of the day are impatient, and if you've been fitted and you've got to wait sort of 6 to 8 weeks, it's tricky.
Yeah.
So again, that's why people have started coming to see us, because they watch Getting Built. It's all built in-house, as well. So we make sure all the tolerances are absolutely perfect. So it's,
you've set it to neutral then?
I've just put in a neutral weighting to try and make the head as stable as possible. That's Callaway AI Smoke, okay? In a 9-degree.
Right.
Okay. Looks-wise, it's going to look a wee bit similar to the last head I had, a wee bit more rounded. We found a good one, to be fair.
That looks like a Q.
better.
That looks like the IQ. Is that the new one? Oh, that's the one I want.
Oh, we've had the IQ10 out of it.
Somebody's showing me.
Okay,
So far, but
Yeah.
we're just seeing if we can get
But
better.
we've worked out my shaft's too long on my driver.
Aye, that's about half an inch.
Yeah.
Maybe an inch long.
Yeah, it's playing 46, which is
That's it.
yeah. So yeah, current driver shaft was 46, which is
Good.
huge.
Starting TaylorMade head's better. It's just a bit more forgiving.
Yeah.
So when you do miss-hit it,
Hit it.
you're
Yeah,
going to
it's
find
sore. See what it does,
your misses are much better.
Much better.
But what I'd encourage you to do is maybe play the 9 down at an 8 head.
Okay.
Okay.
I
All
got
that's going to
my
do is lower launch and
loft
lower spin.
Okay.
increased by a degree.
Yeah, essentially made the
Hit the
lofts
ball high with it.
weaker
Oh,
to help
weaker.
with launch and spin
Absolutely.
and descent, essentially. So what
And
we
then-
found when we
So
tweaked
that's the way I thought myself
the
out.
7-iron, it jumped up, which was nice in descent and the spin. So yeah, you maybe lost 2 or 3 yards through the air, but we've gained essentially.
Yeah, I've not swung a club for
Nope.
about 20 minutes here. That looks quite scary. Oh my god, that was sore. That's a cut. That was awful. That was last wrong. That was a fat Evan. That was Evan. That was what could possibly go wrong. Felt a bit toey.
That's marginal.
That was quite sore actually. I'm stiff as a board.
That was a good strike.
I felt good.
Were you in there?
4.
Right in the middle.
Again.
Yeah.
Now, like 3/8 spin with a 4-inch. Nice. 193, yeah, 192 through there, 211.
Yeah, I'll take that.
It's nice that.
That's quite hard to.
I was saying to you all, the sentence, the strike looks so important.
I know.
Felt a wee bit closer to the heel, but still half decent.
No.
No, just
No.
fire in the face. Still pretty middled.
Yeah, like that. Like almost intimidating.
Go for it, mate. I'm blown, mate.
Yeah.
I've came away. I've came with my golf clubs that I thought worked amazing, and I've been playing really well with them. And now they were too flat. They're now standard, and we've added a degree. And with that, I've gained. I thought I'd lose distance,
Yeah.
but I haven't really. I've got spin. My launch angle's better.
Your descent's better.
We have took 3 or 4 pictures that I've struck it straight out the middle there on that as well. So that tells me, Evan, that I speak about fittings is absolutely true. I don't understand why every single golfer of any description of handicap doesn't come and go through it twice a year.
Absolutely. And,
I don't get it.
We were talking about that when you were away. I was hitting some drives, and it was amazing how just going slightly shorter, and obviously using this club, the dispersion on the club went from like that to like that. It was a big, massive difference, wasn't it? I mean,
I've
right off
said
the middle,
thank
guys,
you so
no,
much.
thank
Pleasure, pleasure. Thank
Thank
you
you very much.
Brandon.
Enjoy that
Thank you
today?
so much.
It
I
was
loved
amazing.
that.
Yeah, and I think that what it's shown is that even regardless of your level, club fitting is the way. That's definitely the way forward.
If you're
and the
spending
guys, the facility the guys
£1,000
have got here is
£1,000
amazing.
on irons.
Yeah.
Why are you not here?
Yeah.
Why not spend half?
When we
half a
spoke
day
about
here?
that and talk about and guys don't want to spend money on putters, but I know I spend 35 quid in a lesson. Why wouldn't you?
Madness.
You know, so why wouldn't
You
you?
blew my mind, guys. Thank you so much. I totally appreciate that.
Pleasure.
That was
Thank you
amazing.
for coming down. It's great.
No,
It's a different class. of that.
amazing.
That's
Thank you
superb.
very much.
Thank you, thank you.
Thanks a lot, guys. Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Yep. And before the battery runs out, obviously.
That was amazing.
Yeah.